It's hard to believe these people are actually paid to do anything, to do a job, to go out there and just make random comments and look like total idiots. I saw this headline, was like, what are they talking about? So I get to look at it and I'm like, are you kidding me? She literally just covered.
She said it live on air. A supposed WNBA analyst, Jordan Robinson, had the audacity to declare Caitlin Clark would skip the 2026 World Cup. Not just predict, but proclaim Clark would prioritize resting for playoffs over representing Team USA on the global stage, effectively trying to write Clark's future for her. The sporting world was left stunned, questioning how someone could so brazenly contradict an athlete's own stated ambitions. This wasn't just a bold take, it was a direct challenge to Clark's very dreams, an attempt to sideline her before the journey even began. The reaction, pure disbelief, a palpable sense of outrage that someone would even dare to suggest such a thing, especially when the truth had already been spoken loud and clear by Caitlin herself. The audacity was truly mind-boggling, a shocking attempt to control.
I saw this headline, was like, what are they talking about? So I get to look at it and I'm like, are you kidding me? She literally just covered this. But we've got a member of the sports media out there that has decided to proclaim they believe that Caitlin Clark will not participate in the World Cup. And I was like, wait, what? Come again? Once again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Good Lord, make sure that you go and check to see if you are still subscribed.
This explosive claim, made during a January 1st Bleacher Report live stream, painted a Caitlin Clark deliberately opting out of the crucial 2026 World Cup. Robinson's predictions suggested Clark would make the roster, but then declined the invitation, all to focus her energy entirely on a potential Indiana Fever playoff run. It was presented as a strategic move to chase a WNBA championship, implying a calculated decision to step away from international duty. This narrative, crafted by an analyst, immediately created a storm of frustration, trying to dictate Clark's priorities to the world, essentially telling her what she should want and what she should do without any input from the superstar herself, painting her as someone who would abandon Team USA for club aspiration.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Good Lord, make sure that you go and check to see if you are still subscribed, if you think you are subscribed. Because I dropped that little nugget in my Paige Becker's video earlier. And guys, I just can't even... Let me show you something. I'm going to peel back the curtain on the analytics for that video. You see that subscriber number plus 171 off of basically 15,000 views?
The analyst's logic: the timing of the World Cup in September. Right as the WNBA playoffs were about to begin, the Indiana Fever, Robinson speculated, could be making a significant run for the finals, making Clark's presence in rest paramount. This assumption tried to preemptively justify Clark's supposed decision, creating a false dilemma between national pride and team success. It completely overlooked the multifaceted ambitions of an elite athlete, presuming a singular focus that would exclude major international tournaments. This bold take was less about prediction and more about imposing a restrictive future on one of basketball's brightest stars, attempting to cage her aspirations within a narrow, ill-informed framework that contradicted her proven drive.
That subscriber number plus 171 off of basically 15,000 views. Guys, you get 171 subscribers off of like 100,000 view videos. So that tells me there's basically 171 people that realized they had been unsubscribed by YouTube to this channel, and they thought they were still subscribed. It's crazy. Again, make sure blackwhitenetwork.com.
Instructions: objective, forge a profound, original, and insightful exploration. Engagement: prioritize captivating the audience and sustaining interest. Length: uphold the precise word count of the original source material. Do not condense the rewritten text. meaning guarantee the fundamental essence of the original text is completely preserved. Specific edit, replace every instance of shadyr, shador, and shedor with shedor throughout the passage. Text to rewrite, again, make sure blackwhitenetwork.com. What makes this pronouncement so infuriating, so utterly ridiculous, is that it came after Caitlin Clark had already unequivocally expressed her profound desire to play for Team USA. Just days before Robinson's broadcast, Clark had been a guest on the New Heights podcast on December 31st, where she directly addressed her commitment to international play. Her words were clear, passionate, and left absolutely no room for misinterpretation. Yet this media member chose to ignore Clark's own voice, instead pushing a fabricated storyline that undermined everything.
This was wild. So, Caitlin Clark was one of the many current women's basketball stars that took part in the Team USA training camp at Durham, North Carolina. We all know and we all agree it was great to see Caitlin Clark back on the court. Now, again, Sue Bird is the managing director. I will say this, that should scare all of us. I just did a video earlier about Paige Becker's an agenda because of the message, as the critical drinker would call it. And what I would say is, during that podcast appearance, Clark vividly conveyed the immense importance of the 2026 World Cup Tour. She didn't skirt around the topic. She spoke with conviction about her aspiration. The training camp kind of kicks off the next cycle for preparing for the Olympics. She explained linking the World Cup directly to the ultimate goal of the 2028 Los Angeles Games. This wasn't some casual aside. It was a deliberate articulation of her vision and dedication to the national program. Her comments were a public declaration of intent, a powerful statement that should have silenced any speculative predictions about her participation. Instead, they were apparently dismissed as irrelevant and unbelievable. An agenda because of the message, as the critical drinker would call it. And what I would say is agenda because of the agenda, combined with the fact that the Yukon Mafia is something real. You gotta have your head on a swivel watching to see if there's gonna be any effery. I'm not going to say the word. I'm trying to cut back. Any effery that takes place when it comes to choosing this team. The most notable of these is
instructions, objective, create an in-depth, original, and thought-provoking analysis. Engagement, focus on hooking and engagement. Length, maintain the exact same length as the original provided text. Do not make the rewritten text shorter. Meaning, ensure the core sense of the original script is fully maintained. Specific edit, change all occurrences of shadyr to shedor within the post. Change all shador and shedor to shedor every time you face this name. Text to rewrite. The most notable of these is Clark specifically detailed how the WNBA season would actually pause for the World Cup, mirroring the structure used for the Olympics. This crucial logistical detail shared directly by Clark highlighted the official recognition and prioritization of the international tournament within the league calendar. It eliminated any legitimate argument about scheduling conflicts or the inability to balance club and country duties. Her explanation laid bare the absurdity of Robinson's prediction, proving it was founded on a fundamental misunderstanding or worse, a deliberate misrepresentation of the established framework. This wasn't a hypothetical conflict. Clark had already clarified the practicalities, making the
NBA analyst Jordan Robinson, quote, "My prediction is Caitlin Clark makes the 2026 World Cup roster, of course, but the timing of that around September, the playoffs are about to start. Indiana could be making a run for the finals because they got that close this past year, but I think she makes the roster, but declines to rest for the playoffs." That's not going to happen. Quote, "I could see her saying, okay, cool. I make the World Cup roster, which probably means I'm going to make the Olympic roster. I'm just going to set this one out because I want..."
Directive's purpose, deliver a profound, unique, and intellectually stimulating examination. Interest, prioritize captivating the reader and fostering involvement. Size, preserve the precise word count of the source material. Do not shorten the revised text. Essence, guarantee the fundamental meaning of the original script remains intact. Specific edit, replace all instances of Shadur, Shador, and Shedor with Shedur throughout the text. Clark then articulated her personal hope and goal. Hopefully, I'm on the team for that. This wasn't a suggestion of declining. It was an earnest expression of her fervent wish to earn a spot and represent her country. She wasn't contemplating skipping it. She was actively campaigning for her inclusion, emphasizing the competitive nature of making such a prestigious roster. Her words resonated with genuine aspiration, a deep-seated desire to compete at the highest international level. To twist such a heartfelt statement into a prediction of refusal felt like a personal insult, a deliberate attempt to undermine her sincerity and commitment to Team USA, a true moment where she had every right to feel slighted. But it's probably way closer than it sounds.
So again, she was talking about the World Cup. Hopefully, I'm on the team for that. And then she said her goal is the Olympic team for 2028 as well. What are these media members doing? I mean, what are you doing exactly? I'm going to predict she's going to skip it. Really? I mean, that makes no sense. She talked about, I thought with a lot of conviction. I didn't think there was any.
I thought with a lot of conviction. I didn't think there was any beyond the immediate goal of the 2026 World Cup. Caitlin Clark also explicitly stated her ambition for the ultimate prize, the 2028 Olympic team. My goal is to be on the Olympic team for 2028, she declared, adding it feels like it's far away, but it's probably way closer than it sounds. This long-term vision cemented her commitment to the entire international cycle, making any prediction of her declining a major qualifying event like the World Cup utterly illogical. Her sights are set firmly on Olympic gold, a dream that demands full participation in the preparatory events. To suggest she would skip a critical step on that path reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of her competitive spirit and unwavering dedication. The sheer audacity of a media member making such a profound prediction about an athlete's future, especially when that athlete had just personally clarified her intentions, left many wondering what are these media members doing. It wasn't merely an inaccurate forecast. It was a direct contradiction of Clark's own words, a blatant disregard for her agency and voice. How can an analyst claim insight into an athlete's mind when the athlete herself has just stated the exact opposite? This isn't reporting, it's fabricating a story, pushing a false narrative that disrespects the player and misleads the audience. It's a dereliction of journalistic duty, showcasing a disturbing trend in sports media. The speaker in the source material didn't hold back, emphasizing the conviction heard in Clark's voice. They could visibly tell and hear how important playing in these international events was to her. This wasn't a casual mention, it was a deeply felt desire expressed with sincerity and passion. For an analyst to then present a narrative where Clark wouldn't prioritize this, to suggest she would turn her back on such a significant opportunity felt like a deliberate attempt to discredit her genuine intentions. This kind of media speculation, so easily disproven, only serves to stir controversy rather than inform, creating a false reality that Clark had to, in effect, lose it to correct. The source narrator was crystal clear about the need to shoot this crap down immediately, labeling Robinson's prediction as fake news. This wasn't a bold prediction at all, but a baseless assertion directly refuted by the subject. The very idea of predicting someone would skip an event they just expressed a strong desire to play in makes no logical sense. It highlights a dangerous trend where media members prioritize sensationalism over factual reporting, creating narratives that are not just inaccurate, but actively harmful. This kind of reckless speculation erodes trust and undermines the integrity of sports journalism, demanding an immediate and forceful rebuttal from anyone who respects the truth. The underlying problem here goes beyond just one analyst mistake. It speaks to a broader issue within sports media. When commentators invent narratives that contradict verifiable facts, they not only misinform but also disrespect the athletes whose careers they cover. This bold prediction serves as a prime example of how easy it is for unsubstantiated claims to gain traction, creating unnecessary controversy and forcing athletes to constantly defend their true intentions. It's a battle against misinformation, where players like Clark are forced to reiterate their goals simply because someone decided to speak for them, essentially not letting her own words stand unchallenged. The importance of the 2026 World Cup cannot be overstated, especially as a crucial stepping stone to the 2028 Olympics. It's not just another tournament, It's a vital part of the qualification cycle and a critical opportunity for players to solidify their place on the Olympic roster. To suggest Clark would bypass such a pivotal event ignores the strategic significance within the international basketball landscape. Her participation would be instrumental in building team chemistry and gaining high-level experience against global competition, making Robinson's prediction not just wrong but fundamentally ignorant of the pathway to Olympic success, practically attempting to derail her journey before it truly began. Interestingly, Clark even noted that the World Cup has historically been almost harder for us to win, because there's more teams to play in the World Cup than teams qualified for the Olympics. This insight further underscores its competitive prestige and the value of participating. It's not a lesser event, it's a monumental challenge that elite athletes crave. Her acknowledgement of its difficulty only reinforces her desire to be a part of it, highlighting her competitive fire. To frame her as someone who would shy away from such a demanding competition is a profound misjudgment of her character. A stark contrast to the determined spirit fans have come to admire, a spirit that would never allow such a narrative to stand. The discussion even touched upon broader concerns about potential biases in team selections. With an earlier video by the speaker addressing an agenda and the influence of the Yukon Mafia, this background adds a layer of skepticism about how these teams are formed and whether external factors or narratives could impact a player's inclusion. While not directly linked to Robinson's prediction, it highlights the constant need for vigilance against any effery that might affect roster decisions, amplifying the concern that baseless media claims could inadvertently influence perception or even actual outcomes, creating a climate where a player like Clark might genuinely fear being unfairly sidelined. The speaker's frustration extended to the general quality of sports media, openly questioning how some individuals are actually paid to do anything when they just make random comments and look like total idiots. This criticism points to a broader systemic issue where unsubstantiated opinions are broadcast as authoritative pronouncements, creating confusion and undermining credible reporting. It's a call for accountability, demanding that those in the media demonstrate a basic understanding of facts before presenting speculative fiction as truth. This casual disregard for accuracy not only damages their own credibility, but also fosters a culture of mistrust among the audience. This entire episode serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of listening to athletes themselves in an era saturated with hot takes and speculative content. The most reliable source of information often comes directly from the individuals involved. Caitlin Clark clearly articulated her goals and passions, yet her words were overshadowed by a sensationalist prediction. This highlights the ongoing battle for control over an athlete's narrative, where external voices often attempt to define their path, creating unnecessary drama and distractions. It's a call to arms for fans to prioritize direct statements over conjecture. The incident isn't just about Caitlin Clark, it's about the integrity of sports reporting. When analysts invent controversies or disregard verifiable facts, they cheapen the discourse and do a disservice to the sport and its fans. This particular bold prediction, so easily debunked by Clark's own clear statements, exemplifies the worst tendencies of clickbait culture, prioritizing shock value over truth. It's a wake-up call for media outlets to hold their contributors to a higher standard of accuracy and respect for the athletes they cover, ensuring that the narratives presented are grounded in reality, not unfounded speculation, or else suffer the consequences of losing all credibility. Ultimately, Caitlin Clark's unwavering passion for international competition, her clear ambition for the World Cup and the Olympics, stands in stark contrast to the manufactured narrative attempting to sideline her. Her explicit statements are not just words, they are a powerful assertion of her will, a refusal to let anyone else dictate her dreams. The attempt to paint her as someone who would skip such crucial events was not just inaccurate, but a profound disrespect to her competitive spirit. It proved once again that true athletes will always speak for themselves, no matter how loudly others try to speak over them or try to not let them pursue their own destiny. This situation dramatically underscores the constant struggle athletes face in maintaining control of their own stories amidst a cacophony of